Have you ever, like, been scrolling through social media and thought, is AI gonna, like, take over the world?
It's everywhere you look these days, right?
Seriously. And yeah, some of it's kind of freaky. But instead of freaking out, we're doing a deep dive into this Economics Explained video. It breaks down what AI could really mean for us, like, in our everyday lives.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to our wallets.
Definitely important stuff.
So get ready, because we're about to unpack how AI might, like, reshape the entire economy.
No small feat, right?
Not at all. And heads up, this deep dive, it gets a little wild.
I'd say. This video, it doesn't sugarcoat things. It goes straight for those robots are coming for our jobs anxiety.
Yeah, it's like the #1 question, right? Are we all going to be out of work when robots can do everything?
Like, what's the point of us even having jobs then, right?
Exactly. But the video, it makes this point. It says, even if algorithms run the world, businesses still need
Customers.
Yes, exactly. It's that whole supply and demand thing. Like, it's not just going to disappear.
Nope, not at all. But this is where the video takes, I'd say, a kind of dark turn.
Oh.
Just imagine for a second those humanoid robots we see in movies, sci-fi stuff. Imagine if they were real.
Okay, yeah.
And not just, capable, but like cheaper than human workers.
Okay, see, now we're getting into, like, Black Mirror territory.
Yeah.
Maybe I watched too much dystopian TV.
Maybe. But the video uses this extreme scenario to kind of explore what could happen.
Okay.
So companies, always thinking about the bottom line, right? They might just decide to replace everyone.
So mass unemployment, then what?
Exactly. That's where the video goes next. Think about it. Most people, no jobs, they'd need like government support.
Yeah.
But those programs already stretched thin.
Oh, for sure.
We could see a huge shift in like what's even being produced anymore. Fewer everyday things, more luxury stuff, only for the people who own all the robots.
And now that's a chilling thought.
It is.
But before we spiral into a full-blown robot apocalypse here, the video does offer some hope, right?
Yep. It does. It does. And that glimmer of hope is productivity.
So it's not all doom and gloom.
Not at all. What the video is saying is AI, it's just like any other big technological change. Like, think about all the big ones that came before. It'll probably change how we work, not get rid of work entirely.
Okay.
Remember all those fears about ATMs putting bank tellers out of a job? Or search engines making librarians obsolete?
I vaguely remember those anxieties.
Yeah.
And that didn't really pan out, did it?
Nope. In fact, if anything, those technologies, they made those jobs more efficient,
Yep.
Like, let's say you're a researcher. You used to spend weeks just compiling data manually.
Right.
Now imagine AI tools analyze the same data in like a fraction of the time. Suddenly you're free to focus on the really complex stuff, interpreting the results, drawing conclusions, things AI can't do.
So instead of replacing researchers, the AI tools actually make them more productive. And as the video says, higher productivity often leads to better wages and a stronger overall economy, which is good news for all of us. But then the video does this unexpected thing, like out of nowhere, it brings up birth rates.
It does seem a little random at first.
Yeah. I was like, where'd that come from?
It's actually a really interesting connection, though.
Okay.
The video points out that a lot of developed countries, they already rely a lot on immigration just to keep their workforce numbers up, simply because their own birth rates are so low.
Okay, that makes sense.
So if AI makes it even easier, cheaper even, to replace human workers with,
robots?
Exactly. Then those countries might be even more likely to just go the automation route. It's like, why deal with a shrinking workforce, all the challenges that come with that, when you could just program robots to do the work?
It's like the video saying, hey, this trend's already happening. AI might just make it happen faster.
Right, like speed it up.
So should we all be like frantically updating our resumes right now, investing in robot proofing for our homes?
Hold your horses. The video actually has a cautiously optimistic stance.
Okay.
It reminds us that this super advanced AI, the kind that's like human level, that's still probably decades away.
Okay, so we're not talking about robots taking over next week.
Yeah, no.
Okay. That's a relief.
Exactly. We've weathered big technological shifts before. Remember the Industrial Revolution? The rise of computers? Huge, huge changes.
And look at us now. Still here. Still working.
Well,
mostly.
Exactly. My point is, these moments can be disruptive, for sure, but they also bring new opportunities.
So we're safe from a robot takeover, at least for now.
For now, yeah.
But that doesn't mean, like, kick back and relax, does it?
Yeah.
This video, it keeps saying we need to be ready.
I agree. It's not saying don't worry, be happy,
Right.
It's more like, hey, big changes are coming. Let's use this time to adapt. And that actually, it reminds me, remember that part about AI prompt writer?
Yeah.
Like an actual job in the future?
Oh, yeah. For those who might have missed it, the video is basically predicting that knowing how to talk to AI, giving it instructions, that's going to be huge.
A valuable skill, yeah.
Like learning a new language almost.
Exactly. It shows how adaptable we need to be. The jobs of tomorrow might need skills we haven't even thought of.
Time to update the resume again. Add fluent in robot.
Right.
But seriously, it's not just tech skills, is it? It's that human stuff. Robots can't, at least for now, do that. Being adaptable, creative, thinking for yourself.
Those are important.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was just thinking, this video, it's all about the economics, right? The money side. But what about the bigger picture? How we relate to each other, who we are in a world full of AI? It's got to be a big deal.
Absolutely. Huge social and philosophical implications.
Yeah.
If machines are writing poems, music, even just talking to us, what does art even mean then? Or intelligence? Are we even human anymore?
Right. It's not just technology changing. It's like our whole philosophy.
It really is mind-blowing when you think about it that way.
It is. It raises so many questions we need to deal with now as a society.
For sure.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, what if AI does cause mass unemployment? How do we make sure the benefits, the increased productivity, how's that shared fairly?
Right.
Do we need to rethink, like, the whole safety net, basic income, that kind of thing? It's not just money. It's ethics, too.
It's like we need a whole AI ethics class, required in school.
I love that, because you're right. We need these conversations while the technology is still developing.
Before it's too late.
Exactly. Hard to put that genie back in the bottle.
Listening to all this, I'm starting to think, maybe we're the robots.
What do you mean?
Well, the video kept saying AI is only as good as the data it's trained on.
Right.
So if that data is full of our own biases, our prejudices, won't AI just do the same things but bigger?
That's a good point.
It's not the robots we should worry about, it's us.
You're right to point that out. AI reflects us, good and bad. So the real challenge, it's not tech, it's, well, being human. Taking responsibility for the future we create.
And not just assuming the future just happens. We have choices. Right?
Exactly. That's empowering. We're not just along for the ride. We can steer this technology in a direction that helps everyone.
So if you had to sum it up, one key takeaway for our listeners.
I'd say the future of AI, it's not some done deal. It's not inevitable. Like, we have no control. We're creating it right now with every choice we make.
So we got to be ready to adapt. And it's not just about learning code or writing the perfect AI prompt or whatever. It's about, like you said, being aware and making choices about what we want the future to look like.
Yeah, exactly. It's not some movie that's already been made. It's a choose your own adventure, and we're all writing it together.
I love that. But it makes me think, what can people listening actually do? So they're not just along for the ride, but actually steering.
Well, it starts with staying informed, right? Like what you're all doing, listening to this. Read articles, watch documentaries, listen to podcasts, all that. But don't just stick to the stuff you agree with. Check out different viewpoints, even if they make you a little uncomfortable.
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Right. That's how you learn.
Exactly. Challenge yourself. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask yourself. Ask experts. Heck, even ask the technology itself.
That is such a good point. Because it's easy to just passively listen, But this video has really made it clear we all got to be a part of shaping this stuff.
Absolutely. Share your thoughts online. Write to politicians, support groups working on responsible AI. Every voice matters.
This whole deep dive has given me so much to think about. And honestly, the more we talk, the more I realize the video barely even scratched the surface.
Oh, how so?
Well, we talked about jobs, the economy, even some philosophy stuff. But what about just us, our own lives?
What do you mean?
Well, AI can write poetry now, right? Compose music, even have conversations that feel kind of human. But where does that leave our creativity? What about relationships, how we see ourselves? If we're always interacting with machines that can act human, does that change how we connect with each other?
Wow. Those are some deep questions, honestly. Yeah. I don't think anyone has those answers yet.
Yeah.
We're all figuring this out together. But that's what makes it exciting, don't you think?
Totally. A little scary, for sure. But exciting. It's like we're right on the edge of something totally new.
Like we're stepping into uncharted territory. We don't have all the answers, but we have the opportunity, the responsibility, really, to explore together.
I like that. And on that note, we want to hear from you. What are your big questions, worries, anything about AI? Find us on Twitter, Instagram, @The Deep Dive Pod. Let's keep this going. And as always, thanks for taking this deep dive with us.